Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening. But all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something that's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
A gain of 3, second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And a quick throw here that's complete. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. He's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and it's third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On third down, Wilson. Open man, it's Allen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 11 yards there on a first down for Seattle. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. They run with Taylor. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Throwing is Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his right. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 11th touchdown of the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. So he scrambled right but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taylor now returning it. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. They'll buy some time right. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, but it'll be second down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Hey, we have you on the end.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll get this to Sharp on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now Cousins, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It's a gain of 34. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On second down, Cook slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this is caught inside the 5. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, surprise, surprise. First and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Play action. Now Wilson. Out to his left. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal.
Under 10.
Now it's Wilson. The quick slant caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Cousins. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and that one is still scoreless as they play in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out
an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Listen. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put him on.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Caught by Allen. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the play.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Taylor. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Let's go.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. The give to Taylor. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Touch 50, touch 50. Check. 53's mine. Check. Alert, alert.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson, buying time. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now Myers for the extra point. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. So that drive, 4 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Cousins now to throw on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They run. Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Open man here is Conklin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Cousins to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? I mean, they seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. Check 31, check 31. Check. 4 down.
They'll run with Taylor. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
What? 380. 54. Right. 50. Hey, alert. Go. Good shot.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down Seahawks. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
53.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, and just a couple yards there down to the 17.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
0-0. Here I come.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, and forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. They'll dump this off to Cook. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefit.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Taylor, and he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus. and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Seahawks, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.